After a fantastic interview between Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones, we can see that Alex Jones once again has gone viral, and with it, the people on Twitter are demanding that Elon Musk unban Alex Jones. Well, it appears that Elon is going to acquiesce, and this is quite fascinating because the journalist class are going to lose their minds. Elon Musk once again putting himself in the hot seat when it comes to the nature of advertisers, and we're going to see the fact that he's going to be targeted once more. The media not only going to attack Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, and Elon Musk, they will do so in tandem and consistently try and draw spurious correlations between the three, and with it, they will do so in an attempt to bring down not only Elon and Twitter, but every single person involved. And why? Why would they do that? Oh, it's so obvious because this is just something that defies the narrative. Alex Jones, while he does say some wild, wacky, and ridiculous things at times, the Alex Jones's right jar has been suffering from so many quarters being thrown in it that it's actually dealing with pressure cracks at this point. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and throw this into the opening clip of Tucker Carlson's interview with Alex Jones.
We're here with the world's most dangerous man, the most censored man in the English language. But honestly, when you get him in front of an outhouse in the woods, he doesn't seem so dangerous.
It's a fancy outhouse.
We have a ruling class in the United States defined by its hatreds, not its loves, not its hopes, but by its hatreds. They hate all kinds of people, large groups of people, the deplorables, the bitter clingers, America's entire blue-collar population, the unfashionable people. They're hated by the people who run our country. But no one is hated more by them than a man called Alex Jones. Alex Jones is the single most censored man in all American history. He was the first media figure in our history to be completely erased in one day, deplatformed. Alex Jones was deplatformed before it was a common term. And not just deplatformed, sued, attacked. They attempted to criminally charge him. What did Alex Jones do wrong? Alex Jones didn't rape anybody. He didn't loot Macy's. He didn't burn a police station. He didn't invent a fake cryptocurrency and loot pension funds. He didn't start a pointless war that made this country poorer and more disorganized. He didn't open the southern border. No, Alex Jones had opinions that deeply rattled the people who run America. In fact, rattled a lot of us. And I'll just confess that I first heard of Alex Jones when he questioned the official story behind 9/11. And I, speaking for myself, was deeply offended by this. I didn't take any time to find out what he was saying, but I was bothered by the idea that this defining event in American history, which changed the life of everyone who lived here then, might not actually have unfolded as we were told it did. And that possibility was too destabilizing. And I remember feeling resentment toward Alex Jones for saying that. But several years later, I wound up in Austin, Texas, and through a chain of circumstances, wound up meeting Alex Jones. And I learned what everyone who has met him now knows, which is Alex Jones is not a crazy person. Alex Jones has said pretty far out things on TV from time to time. Not that far out. He hasn't said men can become women or Ukraine is a democracy, but within the bounds of, say, cable news, pretty far out. But fundamentally, Alex Jones is right about a lot of things. And in fact, that's why they don't like him. Alex Jones has an uncanny, really an amazing ability to predict events before they happen. He has called it, and he's done it on tape again and again, to the point where it's a meme on the internet. Alex Jones, prophet. Not conspiracy nut, prophet. But when you dig into Alex Jones's predictions, they are so spot on that it's remarkable. How does he do this? We're guessing there's a kind of spiritual sensitivity to Alex Jones. Maybe that's his secret. He was displaying this years before the average person in this country even thought about matters like that. Now it's pretty obvious to most people that the current war going on in this country is taking place in ways you can't see it most of the time. But 10 years ago, people were not thinking that way. Alex Jones was. And so we thought it'd be interesting to sit down and talk to Alex Jones, the man. He joins us now in our studio.
Now that we've gotten through that, let's go ahead and get into this poll. And this is the one that Elon Musk responded to, where he, I would argue, has agreed to let Alex Jones back on Twitter. I don't think he's doing so happily, but I think he's doing it because it's simply the will of the people. And with it, this reminds me of something that Elon Musk said when he was at that major business summit where he was talking in response to all of the people who had been stripping ads from Twitter in response to the things he had been saying. And what do we see? We see that Elon Musk said, let's see how Earth decides. Let's see what Earth thinks. And well, it appears that he's actually keeping that true to heart here. That's something that I'm actually genuinely surprised about. I know Elon Musk had emotional preconceptions about why he didn't want Alex Jones on Twitter, and I get it, Alex Jones has said some wild things at times. But what we have to realize is that everyone needs to be able to talk. If people like the Ayatollah of Iran can be on Twitter, if people that can be calling for the most heinous of actions either to Palestinians or Israelis can be on Twitter, then someone like Alex Jones certainly deserves to be able to be on the website. Now, what do we see? Should Alex Jones be reinstated? Yes, 92%. No, 8%. The people have spoken, as Alex says it. Vox populi, vox dei. It's time to reinstate Alex Jones. And I couldn't agree more. And here's a fantastic reason of why to reinstate Alex Jones. This is Alex Jones 21 years ago. In under a minute, he covers the globalist agenda, cashless societies, open borders, socialized healthcare, global pandemics. He was warning us about this while every other Republican was preoccupied with WMDs and tax cuts. Love him or hate him, but you cannot deny this. Alex Jones was way ahead of his time. He should be allowed to speak. And this is exactly why I was saying that the Alex Jones's right jar is suffering from pressure cracks, because he's been right about so many things so far ahead of the curve from so many people even realizing that these things are going on. And why is that? It's because he just reads their papers. He just reads the documents that they put out that they don't think anyone's actually going to read, that the journalists say that they read that they never actually go through. Let's go ahead and play this.
Yes, there have been oligarchies throughout history, and yes, today in 2002, there is a tyrannical organization calling itself the New World Order, pushing for worldwide government, a cashless society, open borders, total and complete tyranny. And by creating open borders where there's no national sovereignty and only global bodies that control all the resources, by centralizing and socializing health care, the state becomes God, basically, when it comes to your health. And then by releasing diseases and viruses and plagues upon us, we then basically get shoved. Yes, there have been oligarchies.
And he goes on to talk about how we basically get shoved into something akin to that of what's been being talked about by the World Economic Forum, 15-minute cities. Alex Jones was so far ahead of the curve on so many of these things. That alone is a reason why he should be able to speak. What we see is we have people that can sit there and, as I've said, say the most heinous things about people that are dying in the conflicts abroad right now. If they can say these things on Twitter without being banned, then people like Alex Jones should certainly be allowed to speak. If people like the corporate press, like CNN, ABC, and all of these other hack outlets, those who got millions killed in the Middle East by actively propagandizing the American people to support these conflicts abroad, why is it that they're allowed to tweet? Why are they allowed to be on Twitter? Why are they allowed on social media? These people who have actively lobbied for the death of millions, they are standing in a swimming pool filled with the blood of innocent people, and they will sit there and lambaste you and act like they're the better person as they wag their finger with the blood of those people flying off at you. That is the journalist class. That is the corporate press. Let's go ahead and throw this into another clip that Tucker had in this interview, and this is a compilation of Alex Jones being right and being ahead of the curve, and with it, some of it is quite eerie. Let's play that right now.
The middle of September, that the new policy's being written, you will all have to wear masks again, and so will airport employees.
It's happening. Mask mandates are officially back.
We know the Joint Chiefs of Staff wanted to blow up airliners, Baltimore Sun, or if you let some terrorist group do it, like the World Trade Center, we know who to blame. And if there was an outside threat like a bin Laden, who was a known CIA asset in the 80s,
this group and its leader, a person named Osama bin Laden,
he's the boogeyman they need. We're looking at a giant war in February right now. I predict the Russians are going to roll in. They're already there. They're going to roll in.
With attacks across Ukraine, which is the size of Texas.
It really was the Iraqis. That's just because they're getting ready to invade Iraq. And what a beautiful setup.
Just another example of Alex Jones being a conspiracy theorist, not getting anything right, no predictive examples of him actually having any bit of information ahead of the curve to understand the nature of what's coming. Clearly, that's just conspiracies, and anyone saying otherwise is just a conspiracy theorist. Right? Of course. Now, what do we have here? We have a hilarious clip from Citizen Free Press, and they didn't make this. This is just something that's been circulating on the internet for a while. And what does this start from? Well, this starts from one, Jeffrey Epstein. Why does it start with Jeffrey Epstein? Because, well, for example, it's another thing that Alex Jones was right about ahead of time, and he talks about the fact that there were multiple different places where things like this were happening. Yes, multiple. There were actually multiple different locations. If you actually believe it was just one island where things like this were happening, that the elites, the most powerful and wealthy individuals on the planet, centralized all of their nefarious activities in one singular location and didn't disperse it across the globe. You're actually so gullible, it's unbelievable. Nonetheless, I really respect your childlike innocence. I would almost say don't lose it, but nonetheless, we need you to actually be an adult here. So what do we have? We have this hilarious clip from Citizen Free Press, and it says, remember when that lawyer tried to make Alex Jones sound like a conspiracist, and then Jones roundhoused him in the face? Legend. And with this, it's talking about Jeffrey Epstein, because it's talking about, well, you tried to correlate the people within government to people that were predating on children, people who were grooming kids. That's ridiculous. That's just a conspiracy. And then he looks at them and just gives them the best response possible. I'm going to go ahead and throw it into that, and then we'll put it into the closing segment of this video.
One of the things you've been talking about on your show is your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia, child trafficking, and the grooming of children, right?
You mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
That clip is absolutely hilarious. It always makes me laugh. But here's the thing that we have to cover, and this is the second point that I forgot to mention before we ended up playing that, so we'll get to it now. Where is that taking place? Well, it's in court, and why is Alex Jones in court? It's because the establishment was trying to sue him for over $1 billion. They were trying to completely destroy him, and with it, they were trying to make an example out of Alex Jones to say, if you do this, if you step out of line to this degree, this will happen to you, and your family will be put through this as well. And one thing I actually thought was hilarious is when so many people talk about Donald Trump, they're like, oh, well, if they can do this to Donald Trump, they can do it to you. It's like, no, you idiot. You've got it all wrong, my friend. If they can do this to as many people as they've been doing it to for so long, then they can do it to the fucking president. Think about that. That's the way that this is. Not, well, actually, if they can do this to the president, then surely they can come for you. It's like, no, they've been coming for you so intensely for so long that they now have the ability to simply go for the president that they don't like. Now, let's go ahead and jump into Brian Krasenstein. Brian Krasenstein is a fantastic litmus test for, well, to understand the blue-pilled normie perspective. And with it, this is something I did not expect from him at all, and we have to give credit where credit's due, and tip of my hat to you, Brian, truly. I really respect this. Breaking, it appears as if Alex Jones will be reinstated on X. My thoughts, please read. I think that what he did to the Sandy Hook parents was insanely horrible. At the same time, I'm sure there are thousands of other people who have done really bad things off of X who are now posting on this and other platforms. One's behavior off of X shouldn't determine one's access to it. I know this will likely anger people, but as long as Jones doesn't post here breaking the law, doxing people, or defaming them, then he should have the same access to post whatever he could say there as he would standing in the middle of Fifth Avenue in New York City. If X claims to be a free speech platform, then they need to allow free speech. I also don't feel it's fair to advertisers to use this against them. Would advertisers advertise at a New York City sponsored event if there was the possibility that someone could say something terrible but legal on the streets in New York City? Man, I didn't expect this out of Brian at all, and genuinely, I mean this. Kudos to this man. This is unbelievable, and I really hope that this is something that is going to be, like I said, the litmus for so many different people, because this is out of the box for him. This is not something I would have ever anticipated, and I'm really hoping that this will be something that so many other people have come to the mindset of. Because what people have to realize is, if the government can censor one side, then when the side who has been censored for so long finally gets power, and the size of the government has only expanded endlessly, well, they've built up a lot of animosity, and now they can turn those guns on you. That is the problem with consistently growing the size of government. And this is why people always say, well, it's the biggest and most important election we've ever had. Well, most people would say, no, that's ridiculous. Many people will also say, yes, that's true. But why is it actually true? Beyond the means of what many of these people understand. Well, it's because you're just consistently ramping up the caliber of the federal gun, and with it, you're just handing the gun to your opposition who you've been consistently attacking for so long. And when that happens, now you're in the crosshairs. Now let's go ahead and get into Shane Cashman. Man, I really enjoy Shane. He's a fantastic writer. If you haven't checked him out, if you haven't seen any of his books, if you haven't seen any of his interviews, well worth it. Let's get into it. This is how the Alex Jones unban will go. Before Alex even posts anything, the corporate press will screech all of their cynical obscenities at Elon, Alex, Tucker, and X as a platform. They will start the Streisand effect and get even more people to watch the Tucker X Alex interview, which is true. Many people will find a man that they agree with and gain a new perspective on why he was banned in the first place, while also hopefully gaining a deeper understanding of the rot in our political class and even those walking away with hope. This is something that I am really hopeful for, is the fact that this could be a major white pill for so many. Because while it will be a black pill when first presented, when you understand the nature of the depravity of these people and then you realize how many people have also done so, that is a white pill. Another man's red pill is my white pill, as Dave Smith says. X will grow, Alex will return from digital exile. We can all help debate and subvert the corporate press and the class narrative that's coming down around the election. Elon, they'll call you every name from the book, every single thing in the deranged playbook, but they already have. People unconditionally hate Alex because they've been convinced to hate a caricature of him. Not the real thing. We got this. This will shift culture. And Shane is absolutely right. The cultural shift is starting, and with it, this is only one more of the dominoes that's going to be crashing, and with it, the slippery slope fallacy has been proven anything but that, and we're clearly sitting on a very slippery hill. I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thank you for watching if you got this far. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you did. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section down below. I will gladly listen to any of the reasons why you think I'm wrong and actually talk to you about why you think that I'm wrong. Nonetheless, you actually got to provide a solid argument. As I said, thank you for watching. Stay lovely, stay great. Tell someone you love them. Peace out.